Last week, Equifax, a large credit reporting company in the United States, reported a data breach affecting 143 million U.S. customers, granting hackers access to full names, social security numbers, birth dates, addresses, and other critical information belonging to nearly 44% of the American population. Ken, are you concerned that your data was compromised?
So that's actually a two-pronged question. Do I believe my information was compromised? Absolutely. Am I concerned about it? I'm not.
Okay, why?
I'm not concerned about it because I've already taken steps to protect myself.
Okay.
I have identity theft monitoring and restoration service.
But there is no foolproof. There is no foolproof way to do that.
There is no foolproof way. Well, that's why I said monitoring and restoration. Okay? That's not prevention service. That's monitoring and restoration. No company can prevent identity theft. That does not ever happen. All right? You can reduce the risk, but you cannot prevent it. That's why I have a identity theft monitoring and restoration service, because if it does happen to me, and I'd say that chances of it happening has actually gone up a lot now. If that does happen, I already have a company that's going to take care of that for me.
Okay. Ron, what are your thoughts?
I'm agreeing a lot with what Ken says, and I think one of the things that Equifax, what's the other two?
Experian, TransUnion.
Yeah, Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax are the three major ones.
The three. What got into a contest with the different credit card companies, if you do this, they'll give you an immediate account of what your scores are. And that seemed to be going and doing an awful lot. A lot of people was using that as bait to get you to change credit card companies and to do a lot of different things. And the hackers see something that they could get into relatively easy. And that sometimes the regulatory process, and I know there are those around the table that like to see regulations done away with.
Some regulations.
Yeah, but usually the some is the ones that are the important ones that hold things up. And some regulatory processes in this case may have held all the amount of half of the American people being involved. Why do you think a half of the American people, it's far more than Yahoo when they had theirs, far more than Target when they had theirs, their breach.
Well, and here's my concern. 43 million people, and I on the surface agree with you that the protection is good, the restoration is good, but if all of a sudden, if those 43 million people, if some 143 million people, if some percentage of those, even a small percentage, have that same restoration service you have, that restoration service is a company that can go bankrupt just like any other.
Sure. So
I'm not sure that I believe that there's a guarantee. I know that they have insurance policies, but we've seen that fail. I mean, saving and accepting federally insured, and back in the days of the S&L crisis, that was even questionable. But it worked. You know, I'm not sure that is worth any more than the paper it's written on.
Right.
That's my concern. Let's take the subject to the next piece. There's already talk of a class action lawsuit. Ron, good idea, bad idea?
I think it's a good idea. I think class action lawsuits a lot of time help. Whether I got a check one day for 32 cents because of a class action lawsuit. Sometimes you need these things to bring out so much more info and data than you originally expected that would be present.
Ken?
And Ron's probably going to be surprised by this. I am actually not really a big fan of class action lawsuits. All right, and here's why. Because most of them end up not having enough teeth. All right, we have HIPAA for health information, for personal health information. Why do we not have some similar regulations? And yes, I'm actually talking about regulations here, Ron. Why do we not have regulations to protect financial identities? That is the
there are
main
consumer
issue
protection.
There are consumer protection regulations, but most of them deal with fraud. This was not fraud. This was negligence. This was absolutely negligence.
Well, okay, was it? I mean, is there, you're an IT guy, is there a hack-proof system?
There's not a hack-proof system, but
So that, therefore, if there is no hack-proof system, how can you say that any hack then is negligence on the part of the company?
well, considering it took them, I think it was at least 3-4 months to even detect the hack. And then, interestingly enough, and here's what's really the criminal part of all this, is before they announce that, oh, hey, we just had, lost the identities of 143 million people, some of their executives sell their stock.
Yes. Let's get into that one a little bit.
That right there tells me, hey, we knew that we dropped the ball on this. We screwed up big time.
So we got.
I don't want to hurt my wallet on this, though.
So there's insider trading potentially. There's a whole host of issues around that. Ron, what are your thoughts on the?
Again, you come to the Wall Street, you come to everybody wanting to do away with this regulation. We got to do away with the, what was the one amendment that they just had to do away with,
Dodd-Frank?
Dodd-Frank. We had to get rid of that. We got to get rid of some other
Have you read Dodd-Frank?
I did go over a lot of Dodd-Frank over the years, yes.
A lot of it's garbage.
Yeah, a lot of it's not, too. I mean,
there's some of it's not. Well, then take out the stuff that's not
and
make a new regulation and get rid of the garbage.
Same way with Obamacare, take out the bad, put in the good, and keep what you've got, which is where they are right now.
But if it's 80% bad, I say throw out the whole thing and then take the 20%.
But somebody's opinion, if it's 80%, another person may say it's only 20%.
Yeah, but with Dodd-Frank saving and accepting those that wrote it, there are not many that think that it's a good regulation.
Well, Barney Frank's out now, and the country's still in trouble in the finance department. So it wasn't Barney Frank's problem.
And you'll get the last.
What's the top profession in Congress? Attorneys.
There you go.
That's the problem.
Okay, and you'll get the last word on that. Up next, we're back with Fast Five, my favorite topic of the night, or my favorite segment of the night. I hope yours too. Stay tuned.